We begin this afternoon at the main press center for the 2018 Inter-Korean Summit Pyeongyang, set up at the Dongdaemun Design Plaza. And that's where we have our Blue House correspondent Shin Se-min standing by. Se-min, I believe we have the latest on the details of the summit. Tell us more.
Jiyoon, we now have a clear picture of what the three-day schedule will be like for President Moon Jae-in a day before he embarks on a three-day trip to the North Korean capital of Pyongyang. Now, Jiyoon, here's what we know. The President Moon Jae-in and the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un could have at least two summits that is in the north. Now, President Moon will be taking off tomorrow at 8:40 in the morning to Pyongyang from Seoul at Seoul Air Base and will land sometime around 10 in the morning there. Now, upon his arrival, a welcoming ceremony will be taking place at the airport, and the leaders will be heading off to their first summit afterwards. And later in the day tomorrow, the leaders will be having a welcoming dinner hosted by the leader Kim. And round two of their summit will follow on Wednesday morning, and the head of the Summit Preparatory Committee, Im Jong-seok, said that the joint presser is expected right after that meeting as well. Now, the president, after taking part in at least two summits and multiple different events, will be heading back home on Thursday morning, though Presidential Chief of Staff kept reiterating that the detailed schedule may change depending on the schedule there. Now, in situations there, and one last thing, Jiyoon, apart from the schedule is the agenda of the summit. And let's listen in.
First is developing inter-Korean relations, and the most important thing is ensuring the implementation of the Panmunjom Declaration. The second is resuming the talks between Pyongyang and Washington for a peaceful establishment of their relationship. And lastly, is seizing the threat of a war between the Koreas.
Now, the top office says it plans on live broadcasting as many events possible, so we'll be able to learn them instantaneously. And again, Jiyoon, all of these schedules still unclear until we get closer to the events on the day of it, as situations in the north may vary depending on the circumstances there. Jiyoon?
All right, so now we have the schedule, and tell us more about the advance team that's up in the north to ensure the summit runs smoothly. I mean, have we heard anything from them yet?
The last time we heard from them was late Sunday afternoon upon their arrival at around 3 p.m. in Pyongyang. Now, some officials of some 90 personnel have left for Pyongyang early on Sunday morning and arrived at around 3 p.m. and have confirmed that the text transmissions, which will be used to communicate with officials here in the south, are up and running well. Now, though we don't know their detailed schedule for today, it is widely assumed that the team will be putting the final touches on the upcoming summit, which is now just a day away. And once we learn any of the updates from the advance team in the north, I'll be sure to bring you the latest, Jiyoon. Back to you.